Hey Sunrise, it's Andrew here with your small group questions for this week as we enter into Genesis chapter 17. So we just came off of 16 where we saw Abram receiving the covenant, kind of fall away in this search of an heir, looking for that seed to continue. And we saw the mercy of God displayed towards Hagar in this text. And now we turn to chapter 17. So we're going to now jump forward 13 years. Why does God wait 13 years to reveal what he's going to do here in the chapter? What comes to mind? What are some thoughts as the 13 years? Again, we don't necessarily have an answer in the text, but just beginning to work through what God is doing. And then, of course, as we read the opening to this text, we see God reiterate again this same promise that he had in 15 and in 12. Why does God reiterate the promise? Why does God say it one more time of what is going to happen? What is gained by God continually reminding Abram of the promise? And then through this, we also see Abram's name is changed. He now becomes Abraham. So what is gained also from the name change? How does that show a transition now in the life of Abraham and his relationship with God? And so as we move through this text, so we have this pronouncement of a new name. New name now is connected to a sign. The covenant now is given a sign in the next half of our text, beginning in verse 9. What is the significance of the sign for Abraham? And if we want to just take a quick little side trip, we see in the New Testament the sign of circumcision is often, or at times, associated with baptism. How is there a similarity to the sign and how is it different? How are they connected? Especially as we look forward to how it's used. And in this then, we see from the sign, God then reiterates once again that covenant blessing. But within the covenant blessing, we also see once again a promise of a child, not Ishmael, but rather one who will come through Sarai, who now will also have her name changed to Sarah. Again, see the same thing, significance of a name change. But what stands out about Abram's reaction to that? There are a couple different things you can talk through on this. One is his immediate reaction to God. Also, how he reacts to it not being Ishmael. And in that line of thinking, what stands out about God's comment to Abram in regards to Ishmael? How does this begin to continue to flesh out the fact of God being the one who chooses rather than mankind's work? God being the father of his covenant and the securer of it. And then ultimately, as we work through this, we see Abram fulfill the sign of the covenant, beginning with himself and Ishmael. So as you work through this text, there's a lot to unpack, but I want you to really focus on this relationship of God with Abram, the promise of the sign, and the promise of the son, and then ultimately how God works these things out. I hope that you'll spend a great amount of time in the text as we unpack it together on Sunday morning, then in our small groups throughout the week. Can't wait to worship with you guys on Sunday.